All right, so as you can see from the title, it probably says like how I made 10K or something like that, right? So last month, it's February 2nd right now, the time I'm recording this, but as of January 2025, which was last month, I made a little over $10,000, so 10,400 to be exact. And how I did that while being in college, right? I'm also a full-time student in college right now. How I was able to do that was through sales, right? So what I do is essentially I am in high ticket sales is what it's called. So I sell, for example, I work with a creator or an influencer online that has a mentorship that I believe in, right? That I know works, that helps other people start their own business, marketing agency, whatever it is, and I sell that mentorship, right? So for example, the mentorships usually cost around $4,000, $5,000, and so I sell that and I get a percentage of that, right? So I make 10% of everything that I collect in cash. And last month I collected a little bit over $90,000 in cash for that company. And after commission or after bonuses and my commission, which is 10%, I made $10,400. Right. So that's essentially what I do. And I've been in this space for about a little less than a year now. And I was able to go from 0 to 10K a month within less than a year. Right. And how I was able to do that is I originally started off as a setter, which is someone that dials a bunch of leads, right? Calls people that opted in. I then get them on a closer's calendar who closes the deal, right? And I get a commission based off of that. And then from there, I moved into then the closer, which I'm now closing. That's how I made 10K. Was I'm now the person that closes the deal. People put the prospect or the lead on my calendar. I close the deal, and I get a percentage of that, right? So that's what I've been doing for the last couple of months. And I originally my last video that I posted, I made a little bit over, or I made like 7K right in total in July, and how I was able to do that was setting, right? Then from then on, I transitioned into closing, where I was consistently making like 3 to 6K. Like it really varied a lot. It was very unstable, um, and I finally was on an offer now that I knew can get me to even more than 10K a month. But kind of my takeaways from this was that in the last year or so, right, or the last 10 months, I've been in sales. I knew absolutely nothing, right, this time last year about sales whatsoever, right? And it goes to show like how quickly things can change in 1 year as long as you stick to it, right? Because like my biggest takeaway was if you just don't give up, then like you can't fail, basically, right? Because I mean, there was times I literally did not want to continue. I made $400 in the first like 3 months, right? I made no money whatsoever, right? And before I even did this, I put myself in like 7K debt buying a mentorship on how to learn sales, right? So it's kind of crazy to see how like in a year ago, well, I guess a year ago today, I essentially invested 7K into something that I didn't even have money for. I had like $2,000 to my name that I made from landscaping with my dad, and I bought a mentorship that I didn't even have the money for. I financed it, essentially got a loan, and then I was able to pay it off after the 4 or 5 months, right? So that's how quickly things can change. And honestly, if I wouldn't have done that, I don't know if I'd even be at this point, right? Because like that put like a fire under me to actually keep going, right? I put myself under that stress to make sure because I had to make that money one way or another, right? Like so I knew I had to make it work. So it just goes to show like in a year, like if you don't give up, you actually like focus on something, then like a lot can change. Right? Obviously, I'm not where I want to be. Like 10K a month in the grand scheme of things is well, I mean no, I mean like either way, it's a big achievement. Like I wanted to hit 10K a month since I was like 16, 17, right? I was watching YouTube videos on Iman Gaji, these like gurus online that would tell you like 10K a month is like the goal, and like I wanted to hit that goal since I was like 16, 17. And before I even got into sales, I tried doing my own marketing agency. Right, it didn't work whatsoever. I was like cold calling a bunch of like business owners in my city, and then from there on, I just transitioned into sales. Right, so I'm kind of just yapping here, but essentially, I kind of just wanted to make this video because for one, like even me saying out loud, I made 10K right last month is like surreal. Right, like I said, I didn't even I've been wanting to hit this goal for like years, and obviously, my parents didn't even support this. Like they thought like everything like it wasn't gonna work out, whatever, right? Because it's human nature to not believe something that's real. Anyway, but here I am, like I'm still at 10K a month, and the goal now, my goal coming into 2025 was to make 15K a month by the end of the year, right? That was my goal, and now I've already hit 10K a month this month, so I'm moving my goal now to 20K a month by the end of the year consistently, and I know that's 100% doable. I know I can hit 20K a month by the end of the year, right? Consistently. So that's my goal for this for 2025, and as well as like my key takeaways when it comes to how I went from like making like 5 6K a month to 10K a month. The key takeaways and the differences that really like made the difference was one, the offer, like the company that I was working with is that makes a huge difference, right? But of course, to get a good role in a good company, you have to be good, right? So if anything, it's skill set first, and then the offer, right? And then from there on, it's like the work ethic, right? How many hours you're putting into call reviews, like reviewing your calls. I hired someone as well. I paid like someone at this month or last month to help me like review my calls because I was like in a slump, right? I wasn't closing deals because I didn't know where I was going wrong, right? So I got someone else that was already making 30 40K a month. I paid them to help me see where I was missing, like what the missing pieces were and where I was going wrong, like what my mistakes were. So I invested into a mentor basically, and that was able to help me a ton, right? So for one, key takeaway: skill set, improving your skill set, watching call reviews, hiring a mentor to help you out, that's someone that's where you already want to be. But secondly, uh, is the offer itself, right? Being on a good offer where you see that there is actual potential, the lead flow is good, you're talking to qualified leads, that sort of thing. And then lastly was the work, right? Like just the work ethic, improving, right, and sticking with it. So that's essentially my three takeaways. I'm kind of just yapped here, but like I said, this is more so for me to kind of just look back on and kind of document my progress. So I want to post more. I said I was going to post more in the last video, and I didn't post for like 6 months. So we'll see. I need to be more consistent, but yeah, hopefully, no, I will be more consistent. It's definitely not going to be 6 months till my next video, but I'm going to be showing like what I do, what that looks like on like a day-to-day basis, like how I take calls, that sort of thing. So yeah, if I'm gonna leave also my Instagram in the description, and if you guys want to subscribe, like that would be cool. But yeah, that's basically it. And if anyone, whoever watches this, probably like 10 people. Whoever, if anyone wants to know like how I did it or like how I got into it, you can text me on Instagram, anything like that. I'm not selling a course, like I'm not at that point, but yeah, just like I could refer you to someone else that I know that can help you or whatever. So that's basically it, and yeah, that's the goal is now 20K a month. So thanks for watching.